You dread it. The first snowfall of the year. Everyone in the neighborhood goes crazy on the roads. They head out to the store to buy milk and bread like the world's coming to an end. Or maybe you've hit a patch of black ice and gone sliding into somebody's rear end or into a ditch. Today, I'm here to talk to you about winter tires. There are plenty of videos on YouTube telling you about how great the handling is with winter tires, how you can stop on a dime in snow and on ice. So instead of repeating what those videos have already said, I'm going to link a few of my favorites in the description for you to check out. This video, I'm going to cover some of the practical considerations that you need to know before taking the plunge and show you how easy it can be with the right set of tools. First, let's talk about a few considerations. I would recommend getting a second set of wheels. For my Ford Escape, we have 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels, and for my winter set, I have a separate set of 17-inch wheels, which make the cost of the tires cheaper. Thicker sidewall is actually a cheaper tire than the thinner sidewall. And when you have these thicker sidewalls for your winter set, it gives you a little bit more protection from hitting curbs and damaging your rims in the snow. One of the great websites that I enjoy to find these tires for a great price is Tyre Reviews. There's other websites out there, but that's the one that I use. They'll mount, balance, and ship the tires to you for free. It's important to consider you'll need a place to store these tires. Ford tires are very large, and they're gonna take up a lot of room. So if you have a basement, I have a basement here, I put them in the corners, stack them up nice, they don't take up too much space, but if you have a condo or an apartment, much less space in more of an urban setting, you're gonna need to put them in a corner somewhere, maybe put a sheet over them, you turn it into a table. When do you put them on? What time of year? So the main difference between all-season tires and winter tires is the rubber compound that they use. Temperatures above 45 degrees, you're going to want to use an all-season tire or a summer tire. The reason for this is below 45 degrees, an all-season tire, the rubber gets harder, and that performs suboptimally as compared to a winter tire, which has a softer rubber. It doesn't perform well in warm temperatures because it wears down faster, but it stays pliable and it gives you better grip in snow and icy conditions. When your daytime temps plunge into the 40s, you're consistently below 50 degrees, that's when you want to switch out your tires. Here in Massachusetts, we're talking late November, sometimes a little earlier, but usually that's around the time. It's better to have the tires on before the first snowfall so you're not caught off guard. But at the end of the day, if you have an all-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive car, and you've got all seasons, you'll be fine with some early season snowstorms, which generally tend to melt around here anyway. So when you put the tires back on in the spring, it's the opposite. Your temperatures go up above 45 degrees into the 50s consistently. That's when you want to switch back from your winter tire to an all-season or a summer type tire. All right, first of all, let's talk about some of the tools you're going to need. Obviously, the first thing you'll need is a jack. I like these bottle jacks. They tend to have a higher height as compared to like a floor rolling jack. Rolling jacks are easier, but if you're doing one tire at a time, you're not a mechanic, you're always popping around. These work just fine. They're a little cheaper. They hold a lot more weight. So if you have like an SUV or a truck, this can handle that weight. This thing is rated for like 6,000 pounds or something like that. 6 tons, so 12,000 pounds. You can pick these up at Home Depot, Lowe's, $30, $40, depending on how heavy of a model you go. Next thing, this is optional, but I like it. This is for safety. So once you're actually up on the jack and you want a little bit more stability, you can use these jack stands. If your jack fails for some reason, it's going to catch it and the car isn't actually going to fall onto you or damage the wheel or whatever the case may be. 1/2-inch drive socket wrench, 1/2-inch breaker bar, 3/4 socket wrench. My favorite tool of all time, it's the torque wrench. That's the tools you'll need. Okay, let's get started changing out these tires. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take note of the directionality of the tires. Winter tires have a direction that they have to be mounted in. It gives them better grip in one direction only. These Bridgestone Blizzaks you'll see are angled so they provide the best biting grip along these sharp angles in the treads you see. Most all-season tires can be mounted in either direction. An important thing to remember as you take off your old tires is take note of what section of your car they came off of. Put a sticky note on them, and then next year, You'll remember which ones went where and you could rotate them. Now we're ready to get started changing the tires. I like to set my tools up near the first wheel and place the other tires next to the other wheels where I intend to mount them. Be sure, once again, know the directionality. The arrow should point forward. Each tire will go clockwise, so the arrow needs to point that direction. Before jacking up the car, chalk up one or more of the wheels to prevent the car from rolling. Next, using your breaker bar, loosen all the lug nuts on the wheels slightly so that when the tire is off the ground, it won't start spinning. Now it's time to jack up the car. Unfortunately, the cheap bottle jack that I bought at Home Depot maxes out at 16 inches, which is about an inch too short. What I do is just grab a piece of wood, put it under the bottle jack. It gives me the extra lift that I need. Once you have some ground clearance, grab your regular socket wrench. Let's remove the lug nuts. Place them within reach so that when we grab the new tire to put it on, we can access them easily and also keep the tire up on the studs. Once the tire's off, roll it out of the way. Grab your other tire. Make sure you line up the studs with the holes before you lift it and spare your back. Once the tire's on the studs, hold it in place at the top with one hand and at the bottom with your knee or your foot, and then hand thread each one of the lug nuts back on to the threads. Start at the top, and then what you're going to do is alternate in a star pattern from top to bottom and across, back up to the left and across, to the right, and then down again. The reason you do this is it prevents uneven tightening of the threads, and it allows you to completely mount the tire properly, avoiding problematic vibrations from loose lug nuts while driving. Finally, tighten these all the way down so that they're snug, and then we're going to take out the jack stand and lower the jack. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to tires is when I take my car to the shop, the mechanic replaces a tire, doesn't work on it, and then he grabs an air wrench, maximum PSI, and then he jams those bolts right back on. So then when I get home and I want to take the tire off, or I'm at the side of the road and I've got a flat tire, now I can't get the tire off. One of the benefits of changing your own tires is you can torque them properly, which brings me to one of my very favorite tools, the torque wrench. Call me a stickler, but there is a reason for torque specifications, and they should be followed as gospel. Check your driver's manual for the torque specs for your specific wheels. On the 2017 Ford Escape, we can see in the tire section, we require 100 foot-pounds of torque. Let's set the torque to the correct settings. This particular wrench has two different readings you need to consider. There's the horizontal, showing the major measurement. You'll see 100, 120, 140, etc. Then there's the vertical dial, which you turn, and it shows you the minor measurement. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the top of the dial at the 100 mark, and then we're going to make sure the 0 is at the center line. To do this, we'll loosen the black knob, and then we'll tighten it back up again. The beauty of the torque wrench is once you apply the proper force, it slips and it makes this beautiful clicking sound. Let's listen in. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah. Once you hear that satisfying click, for all of your lug nuts, that tire is finished. You're good to go. So, now we just repeat this whole process 3 more times. Let's do it. guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to click subscribe for more videos like this. If you have something you would like to see, home improvement related, bookshelves, some bread baking, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, leave me a comment on the video and let me know what you would like to see. Thank you so much.